What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dustin's Vinyl. With my guitar dude, Anthony Kapfer. Oh, somebody got funky. Oh, man. What happened, bro? You got a little blacker. I like it. Nice riff there, white boy.
I'm working on some kind of bluesy rock and roll riffs.
Seriously, I was saying yesterday, you've gotten better at the guitar. I think lockdown was good for you.
Yeah,
it forced you to just play guitar, man.
It's like when Robert Johnson went away for 2 years or whatever, and then came back, and everyone's like, "Whoa, he must have sold his soul to the devil." Maybe it was just maybe it was a lockdown,
locked in a room. Yeah, that works with everything but stand up. All the other arts it works with. Like if you're a painter, you just paint all day. You're a writer, you write all day. You're a musician, you play. But stand up is like, for some reason, a lot of people just couldn't just do this. I mean, I did okay with this. You and I did pretty well with this stuff. This like Zooming and internet stuff. I feel like we probably did the best of the people we know.
Yeah, a lot of people hate doing online stuff. I love it.
I can't let it go.
I'm into it.
Well, you're in Denver, so you don't have much of a choice. But what are you gonna do? Go down to the clubs that hate you? What are you gonna do?
Clubs. Multiple? It's one club.
It's one club. Dude,
all the alt rooms
I have
hate
multiple
me.
clubs that hate me. So
yeah,
I've burned a lot of bridges in comedy.
The whole Denver scene hates me.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's clubs. If somebody's running a show at another club, then that's clubs. Why? Who cares? It's like Denver's. You gotta move to a bigger city, man.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be in LA in a couple months.
You do in LA? Because you keep going back and forth. I feel like you came here and then you got a hotel next to a crack den, and you just did not get the real experience.
I do not love downtown LA.
Nobody does.
It's
Nobody
like all the worst
there.
Parts of New York thrown together. Yeah.
Nobody goes to downtown LA. It's all about Hollywood, man. West Hollywood, or Silver Lake, or just those little trendy places.
Maybe I'll move in next to you.
It's a pretty good deal. I think the prices went up because we got the pandemic special. But, I don't know if I don't know if I want you as a neighbor. I like you too much. You know what I mean? There'd just be some weird shit would happen, and you'd be like, and I'd be like, and then we would just fucking hate each other.
Like us. That sounds just like us.
We just hate each other over something stupid, Well, Nick was my roommate, the little dude, Vicky, and then now he's my neighbor, and so it is a funny thing, but we definitely get along better as neighbors than we did as roommates.
Did you? I think that's the case with most people.
How many? What was the most roommates you had at one time?
I had 3 other roommates.
3
in Brooklyn, yeah, and that's not so bad, but usually one or more of them would have people over, if they were dating people or whatever. So, there could be quite a few, and there was a dog, like a pretty big dog.
Yeah,
like
if you have 3 roommates
dog.
and a dog, something's not working out in your life.
Oh yeah, I was living in the basement. It was 2 floors, and I was in the basement.
I remember when you had a place, and I hope you don't mind if I share it, but you had a place, and then the person that had the apartment was like a prostitute, right? Like she was.
Yes, that's the place I'm talking about.
she just decided to be a prostitute out of nowhere. Like it wasn't like you moved in and she's like, "Hey, I'm a prostitute. Let's figure this out."
She started doing Craigslist ads after I don't know, I was probably there for 6 or 8 months or something, and all of a sudden there's strange dudes leaving at 4 or 5 in the morning. And that was a little bit weird.
Yeah, that was really weird. And she's very understated. Like she just looked like a regular, she didn't come off, she was doing that.
And when she told me about it, it was very understated. I was just making coffee in the kitchen, and she was like, so it's like one of those things
for money. And so, yeah.
It was really bizarre.
You help me with the electric bill. Yeah.
So here's the thing, just very casual. I was like, what? That is not what I expected.
Funny if you just put it as a Post-it note on the fridge. I'm banging dudes for cash. Yeah. And we're out of milk.
Yeah. And, also, and I don't mind, it's like somebody wants to do that. do it somewhere, do it somewhere else. I just didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't really like the idea that.
Yeah, not in your apartment.
Yeah, not in our apartment.
Well, no, it's a life change that should probably require discussion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't just be something that you're just like, man, that's like 4 dudes today that came through. You shouldn't have to like figure it out. Like that's something that should be discussed.
Yeah.
But anyway, what are you gonna do? I hope she's doing okay. She probably made a lot of money in the pandemic. It's a good time. Welcome everybody to Dustin's Vinyl. This is Country Month, and Anthony's got a little country album, and Jeff and Adam have a lot of fun things to say today. I got some random pulls for my collection. This is, it's an old Willie Nelson album when he's got no beard.
Whoa! Yeah. I don't even think I would be able to identify him based on that photo.
It's old. Yeah, this is one of his first ones. Spotlight on Willie Nelson featuring the Bloody Mary Morning. I guess Bloody Mary Morning. It's pretty good. It's definitely Willie kind of found his sound, I guess you will. But so some artists kick it off right at the gate, but he definitely, got better as time went on. But this is still cool. It's I enjoy first albums of people, even if they're not what they become. That's still kind of, especially if you're familiar with him a lot, which I am. I've seen him live many times. I have a lot of his albums. And so, this is a rare find. If you find this at a flea market, pick it up. You probably resell it for like $50 or something. Like it's a pretty hard one to find. So, it's Spotlight on Willie Nelson featuring Bloody Mary Morning. So check that out if you want. And this is a dude like, it's like, this is country month. And when I think of country music, I think of kind of an attitude. And because that's the difference between me and you, Anthony, is I kind of come from this place, we call it Texas. I come from kind of an upbringing that is like, I'll fight you right now.
Yeah.
So throw back some whiskey. Come on, mother. That's where I come from. And so that's where this guy comes in. This is Johnny Paycheck.
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 Take this job and shove it.
Take this job and shove it.
I know that song.
I ain't working here no more. That was a song and a movie. That's how popular the song was. They did a movie about it where he's just like quitting his job over and over during the movie.
Wow, they made a movie based on the popular song.
It was a movie, but that's how big a song it was. They based a movie on the song, and Bigfoot, the 4x4 truck, from the monster trucks, was featured in the movie. So it was like you had monster trucks and you had Johnny Paycheck, and he's like a little dude too. He's really, really small. But this is the album, of Johnny Paycheck. If you're gonna get one, get this one. Take this job and shove it. It's probably one of the greatest, kick-ass anthems of if you've hated your job or you just, this is definitely the good song. But all the way through, it's pretty good. Like he's kind of an underrated guy. I don't think a lot of people talk about him in the Mount Rushmore of music, but he's, made a big splash in the 60s and 70s. And this is just a really good album. And Colorado Kool-Aid is really good. The Full Strikes Again. And what is this other one, From Cotton to Satin or something, I think is a good one. But get you some kick-ass Johnny Paycheck. If we get a chance, who's the guy who did Simpsons? What's his name? Mike Judge. So Mike Judge did...
he did Beavis and Butthead and Office Space.
Yes, but what I'm about to say is the animated thing that he did on the road? Like he did the country... stars. It's like on Cinemax. It's like he did an animated series about all these country singers that were on the road. Did you see that one?
No. Mike Judge?
Mike Judge. Yeah. It's animated and it has Johnny Paycheck's in it, and he's like fighting and stuff. And they got like, George Jones on a riding lawnmower driving to a gig because he's drunk, and like it's really funny. I'll figure out what the name of it is. I know Adam will figure it out, but that's Tour Stories or something with Mike Judge. But anyway, Johnny Paycheck's all over, and it's really funny because he was such a character. He was a little dude, but he always fought and got in trouble, and it was just the whole thing. So I can relate to that. That's why I don't drink anymore. But I turned into a little Johnny Paycheck myself. Take this job and shove it. All right, everybody. I'm going to bring up our other co-host, waiting patiently here on Dustin's Vinyl. One of my favorite people in all the world, Jeffrey Paul and Adam Holtz, everybody.
What is happening? Hey guys.
So that groove Anthony's giving us, huh?
I'm giving you some groove today.
Groove.
I like that
feel-
opening riff, man. It's had like a little Sabbath sound to it.
Right?
Oh, thanks. I didn't think about Sabbath. I was thinking, it's kind of bluesy, kind of like Rage Against the Machine-ish.
Yeah, I didn't get Sabbath at all.
But
Well, listen to when we did the first album. That's that it had a blues sound to it, and that's what that in an acoustic style. That's what that riff reminded me of.
But Jeff loves Sabbath so much that everything kind of sounds like Sabbath to him.
Sabbath and Pat Benatar.
And Iron Maiden.
Like a McDonald's jingle. Is that Sabbath? Yeah. What do you
They
you
could
like
have
Johnny
Ozzy do it.
Paycheck? We like Johnny Paycheck, right, Jeffrey? Seemed like somebody you like.
Yeah, in fact, that was one of my dad's favorites. When he played out here, he went to go see him. He loved Johnny Paycheck.
Yeah, he's definitely good. I think he's like one of those anthem country guys.
Is he still around, or did he pass?
I think he died. Yeah, pretty sure.
Speaking of dying, very sad to hear today the passing of Ronnie Spector.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys catch that? She,
Yeah.
she was known for "Be My Baby" and "Baby I Love You" and the "Take Me Home" song with Eddie Money. So, 78 years old.
This is a rough week, man. People are just dying left and right.
Yeah, but Dustin, Anthony, do you guys know Bob Saget?
I did not know him. I met
didn't
him
know
once
personally, but I grew up watching him.
Yeah, I met him club or whatever, but I didn't really know him.
Nothing
That
but
was
nice
scary.
things.
Isn't that scary, Jeff? That's scary, man. You just die.
When I hear that, what's the first thing you do?
Go to your doctor.
No, I look at the age.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was young. He was 65.
Yeah, and I'm like, holy shit! It's only a couple of years
I have
away.
an inside scoop on it. He apparently he was clenching his chest, so he probably had a heart attack. So they're not releasing all that stuff yet.
Mhm.
But what happens? That's what happens when you're not 20.
Yeah.
At least he
It's
got
scary.
up. At least he got a spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a comic, you're like, hey man, he had a set the night before, and and it went well. He was like, I did 2 hours. It's like, and then that's a way to go, man. It's like kind of a curtain call.
Yeah, I wonder what brought it on. That's what I always think about too. What brings it on?
Bacon, booze, back into heart attack, man. Just not living right, not jogging enough, not getting cardio,
I'm going to the gym after this.
Eating greasy hamburgers and not moving. That's what does it. He's a comic. He's just on a plane. He's in a car and he's on stage. He's probably not doing anything.
Hey, you're a comic. You're in good shape.
It's taken a lot. It's only this week that I'm in shape. It's taken me a while.
You just got in shape this week.
I did just get in shape this week. Now I have that body. I really do. Anthony does too. Where you just you work out like 4 days and you're kind of back in
cut.
it. Kinda. I'm not like ripped in 4 days, but I'm definitely back in shape. Like if I just keep on from here, I'm fine. I mean, I can't just like do 4 days for the year. It's like, I'll stop now and I'll be good. Or at least, But whatever.
Would you put on weight if you had to?
Yeah, I'm putting on weight now.
How about you, Ed?
I fluctuate quite a bit.
Anthony can't put on weight.
I fluctuate.
I know Adam and I can.
I gain it fast and I lose it fast.
Are you talking about putting on weight out of a purpose? Like I'm going to gain muscle, or just like out of like holidays?
No. I'm talking about like, if you want to like bulk up and say, you want to add like 30 pounds. Well, some people have
Anthony
a real
could
hard
do
time with
that.
that.
He would just have to eat the right stuff. Like I don't think he eats the right stuff. If he's going to do that, he could. Sure. That was the problem because you worked out before, Anthony, and you didn't like protein out. So that's when you got real thin.
I cut carbs and I was doing
you
cardio.
Can't do that. You can't work out.
I was doing all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah. Then you turn into Karen Carpenter. You know what I mean? Like you gotta eat when you work out. What are we talking about? What kind of show is this today?
Welcome to the Nutrition Hour.
I'll talk about our diets.
This is so not rock and roll.
I've been working out a little bit. What do you guys think?
Yeah, got chill. Let's do it. All right. We'll all just start flexing. Take our shirts off. All right. I went to a tanning salon because I wanted to get like a little color, and then I just burnt my legs and just like it's awful. Just like that's what you never do something like that. It puts you in pain. That it was just it was idiotic that you did to yourself, and so you can't. Nobody feels sorry for you because like, what are you doing going into a tanning?
I've never been to a tanning salon.
I've never been either.
All right. Well, I did, guys, and I don't care. I also got a manicure. Are you gonna judge me?
Ooh.
Not on the manicure, but on the tanning salon. Yeah.
Yeah, I live in LA, and it's been kind of, want to get my color back. So I got to get a base tan, and then
You
I'll
gotta get a base.
Yeah, I get a base tan. Shut up, dude. I don't want to hear
Gotta
anything.
get a base.
Anything you do stuff to your looks, Jeff. I don't even want to hear it, man. We all do stuff.
I do stuff to my. What does that mean? I do stuff to my looks.
You do.
What does that mean, though?
You know what it means. I'm just saying.
What stuff do I do to my looks?
You don't want me to go down this road. Let's just
I do.
I don't want to. All right, country music. Take it away. Take it away, Anthony. This show's getting weird.
Okay. All right. Well, so I picked this week. I picked an album by Bobby Bear Jr., who is the son of Bobby Bear, who is a pretty successful country music singer. Dustin, do you know his stuff and like his stuff?
I do. I like the really, really early stuff, like the kind of I guess, I don't know, it was the 50s, but like, the stuff even before Detroit. Like what was that Detroit City song he has and stuff? All American is a good song. Yeah. Because
he's like, they call him one of the outlaw guys. So
I think it kind of went towards kind of more of a, I don't know, different kind of sound, more of a kind of George Jonesy kind of stuff. But the early stuff is kind of picking. It's picking stuff. It's like a little rockabilly to it and stuff. It's nice.
Bobby Bear Jr., when he was a kid, did a song with his dad, and they were nominated for a Grammy. The song was called "Daddy What If," I believe. And so anyway, so Bobby Bear Jr. had in the 90s, he had a band called Bear Jr. They had some minor hits, and then he is a solo artist, and he was friends with Shel Silverstein, and did a few songs that were written by Shel Silverstein. One of the songs is on the album I chose, which is called "From the End of Your Leash," his second solo album. So his Bear Jr. had 2 albums, and then this is his second solo album. And let's see what else. So, let's say, what do they write about him? His songs include a lot of humor and pop culture references. I have this written. The Nashville City Paper said about his stuff that it's traditional country, prototype rock and roll, or Americana, plus R&B, punk, and even some pop. So it's probably a less traditional, country album than it's definitely less traditional than last week. But this is kind of like alt country, a lot of country influences. This guy's from Nashville, grew up around all the country stars and all that, and so that's it. So this is an album that I really like. I've seen Bobby Bear Jr. live, and this is just one of my favorite albums of any genre.
Cool. We'll start with you, Jeff.
Okay. Okay, this was kind of like an interesting album. The first thing, like I was writing down notes as I was listening to it, and it reminded me if Weezer, like when they did Van Weezer, and it was a tribute to metal. This reminded me if Weezer was going to do a country record. It kind of came off to me as kind of like almost like a novelty record. Like, for instance, like the song Valentine, and I think constantly repeating "I killed my Valentine." I wasn't really impressed with the singing on the record. I kind of think his voice is whiny, especially on a song like "The Terrible Sunrise." But at least the songs are short.
You didn't like that song?
No, I didn't. But,
the two songs you hated are two of the songs I learned, just in case somebody was like, I love that song. And then I was going to play a little bit of it.
I thought of you because, I could see you doing this music or covering this music. Like Visit Me in Music City is, to me, it sounded like he was trying. I don't know if that was like a tribute to Bob Dylan. It came across kind of Dylan-esque, and I kind of liked it because it was catchy and it had a hook. I kind of found a couple of things about it distracting, like the drumming. There was a lot of slow build up to a bunch of songs that, and that were kind of repetitive and annoying. Your Favorite Hat was another song that was kind of like a duet and kind of folksy. I think I even heard a kazoo in there.
It might be.
Yeah.
Might be kazoo.
Don't Follow Me, what I thought was a good song. I enjoyed that. Not bad, very pretty melody played on the piano. But it didn't. The one thing that didn't pop into my mind was I didn't think of this as country. So maybe this was just like a different offset of country. That's Rock and Roll wasn't a rock and roll song. But it was different, and I never heard Bobby Bear Jr. before, so at least I got to check him out.
At least that's a good consolation.
You should go check him out.
And the songs were short.
Adam, how'd you feel about it?
This album was right up my alley. There was a lot of musicians that I really enjoy that I could hear in this, and I hadn't heard Bobby Bear Jr. before, and I had Valentine stuck in my head for most of today. I really enjoyed Visit Me in Music City. Don't Follow Me, I'm Lost reminded me a bit of Jeff Tweedy, early Wilco. There was a little bit of the Replacements in there too. I feel like there was
okay.
The other thing was I didn't realize he toured with Guided by Voices, and he and he played with them too.
Yeah, now he's I think in 2016 he joined the band as a touring member, and I think he's played on the albums that have come out since then. Yeah, which I didn't know until I was trying to come up with stuff to say about the album. I thought he was still doing his solo stuff.
Right.
All right, here we go.
Oh boy.
This is what you did last time with Dwight. Man. This was interesting. This was fun. It's amazing how you always find a band that's similar to, kind of your, like if you were to have a country band, it would sound like this.
Exactly.
Every time it's never something that's out of like what you would do. It's just very funny. You're very on brand, which I always appreciate.
I try to pick stuff that I love. I don't want to pick an album where I'm like, I skip half. No, I don't know why, so before I played music, I listened to music. So I think that I play the kind of music I like to listen to.
I get it. Well, I'm the opposite. Like I like for my stand-up comedy, like I like, like BET, Comic View, like that's the kind of comedy I like. Like I don't really like white comedy. Like I'm not crazy about Bill Burr and all these guys. Like I like this other kind of comedy and like Cat Williams and stuff. Like that's what I enjoy when I watch comedy. So it's just interesting with people, musicians, and I don't know. It's just funny. And
I like a lot of stuff that doesn't sound anything like the stuff that I play.
But you're on brand, and I appreciate it. But yeah, okay. So first of all, there was a second where I thought that I was listening. I thought I got the wrong album because I just assumed I was listening to Old 97.
Okay. Actually, I haven't really gotten into them. I just
knew this was Old 97's first album, and then I realized it's not. Which I don't know if you're familiar with them, but it's very much this sound. Okay. Where it's a departure from country music. It's definitely it's kind of putting the finger in the eye of country music a little bit and kind of going in, which I appreciate. Now, then I started thinking to myself, I don't think I've ever really liked a Junior. I think about all the music, the Bob Dylan's Kid and like all these, Hank Williams. Like I just don't like a Junior. I can't think of any.
Hank Williams III?
He's good. He's I don't listen to it, but I respect it. Like he's a guy I'd go see him live, but I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy about it. Like I'm not, not like Dwight, but it's I feel like I'm just not crazy about sons of famous people. I just can't do it. I can't think of any Twitter people, Twitchers. Let me know if there's somebody's son who you like that you think is great, because I can't think of any.
Dustin, you really
only?
didn't like the Wallflowers?
No. I mean, come on, dude. That's why they're not still around. There's a reason they're not around right now. I never liked them. Even as a kid, I knew they were. Yeah, but that's why they're not around. I mean, it was a good song. That one song was pretty good.
One Headlight. And then they did Heroes. They did the Bowie song.
I just can't. Come on, Jeff. You don't love them. You might like. I can see.
They were good.
Yeah, but exactly the way you even said that, they were good. You know what I mean? That's how good they were. They were good. But it's not like, here's the deal. Even like with Van Halen's kid, if he had, like not used the name and just busted his ass on the road and just, played with in grimy clubs, and before he went straight to Van Halen as a bass player and just like really got in it, he wouldn't sound like every single band that's ever been out there in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like he would have his own sound. I feel like he would be better. I like that album. It was good, but we all know it sounded like 15 different bands. And so I feel like when you're a child of a famous person, you have this luxury of kind of like, it's easy to get a record deal when you're, you have these connections. And then I also feel it's a disservice sometimes because you're just around, you don't have to pay your dues as much, it's like Pauly Shore. It's like Pauly Shore or something, It's like,
you ultimately got to sell the record.
Huh?
You ultimately got to sell the record.
Exactly. Well, okay. But a lot of times you sell the record off of your family.
You'll get one, but if you don't make money on that first record, you'll be dropped regardless.
The Wallflowers.
They had multiple albums.
No, they don't. They're not. They don't have. I mean, they might have had one.
I have two of their CDs.
It. Two. I guarantee you don't have a third.
You lose interest. I mean, but you can say that about a lot of bands, not just.
No, I know, but I have the right to say it as much as you say what you say about bands. It's like, it's all good. I'm just saying, I think there's a thing about, it's a shoe in, man. It's just like in Hollywood, Kevin Bacon's sister was a casting director or whatever. Like there's all these kind of things that certain artists, they get a lift up. So I'm going to be harder on that. I'm going to be harder on that. You know who I think did it best? Enrique Iglesias. I think probably the best father-son situation that I can think of.
And he was completely different than his father.
Did his own thing, created his own fan base. Like I felt like he still used the name and everything.
That's a good call.
But yeah, so it sometimes works. But for some reason, not that this guy Bobby was like this huge. It's not like it's Glenn Campbell or something. It's a different. It's definitely a popular country person, but it's not. I don't know. I just think you get a little leg up. That's all. So I'm going to be a little harder on it. But I did like the album. I wanted to act like I didn't because of how you treated Dwight Yoakam last week.
I was trying to be very respectful about it.
I did like a lot of songs. I definitely liked the Visit Me in Music City, which is kind of like, that was a beautiful kind of what Nashville is. And there was a lot of great lines in that song, kind of the pizza delivery guy's got a country song, and
I'll sell you weed.
Yeah, sell you weed. Because that's comedy's like that. And I know so many great comics that you don't know. These people have no idea who they are, but I mean, but we know, and so I feel like that's kind of what that is a little bit. And so I enjoyed that. And I do like the departure from country. I don't feel this particular guy nailed it. I feel people like Shooter Jennings kind of nailed it. Which that's a son situation that he went completely the opposite. It's more of an underground kind of thing. And I don't feel like he's a multi-platinum guy, but I feel like he, that's probably one that's kind of interesting, but it's not like he got, I think he kind of went his own road is what I'm saying with that. But he adds a lot of weird kind of sounds to country music, and then I feel Sturgill Simpson also takes a lot of risk with changing the sound of country a little bit. And I do like electric country. I think that's something that I enjoy. But yeah, this is cool. I would listen to this again. This is definitely, but old 97s is kind of like what I really got from this. And so if you did get a chance, listen to them, and if you like this, you'll like
check them out.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. They sing a lot of great songs. But this is cool. I like just something that's a little different. And that's what I like about you, Anthony, because you're always going to go out of your way to pick a band that Jeff and I have never heard of. So.
I feel I owe it to
It's
the
going to
show.
sound like you.
Country month. Okay, what sounds like me?
Diaz for Divorce, track 10. I mean, I'm telling you, you might want to, see if you could get a law team involved. But yeah, it was fun. I appreciated it, and I would seek it out a little bit. But yeah, so anyway, that's what I got to say about that. What about new music, guys? Did you guys find some fun new music today? Jeff, what'd you find?
Yeah, I thought we were going to talk about the Weeknd.
The Weeknd?
Yeah, that album,
Dawn FM.
Dawn FM.
I don't know. Did it? Okay. Just go. I didn't get that memo.
Because I thought you said you wanted to talk about that, because I gave that a really hard listen, and that was a really interesting new record that just came out. The Weeknd, Dawn FM. It kind of sounds like you're listening to a radio station.
Okay, who got this memo? I didn't get any memo.
You
about
put it out.
No, I didn't.
It was in the text thread.
Yeah, it was in the text.
I said, listen to the new Weeknd album. I hate that guy.
I didn't love it. I skimmed through it. I didn't love it.
So I did, and there were a lot of. I mean, it's an interesting record. Like I was hoping you guys were listening to it, because I really wanted to hear what you guys thought about it, because there was a song on it called Gasoline. Yeah. And I liked it, but it had because the album kind of takes. I thought you said it had like an 80s tribute to it. So that's what I was listening for. So the first track that I heard was Gasoline. I liked it. Do you remember the group Information Society? They had the hit Tell Me What's on My Mind. That's what I heard in this. I was wondering if anyone else heard that. It's not like a real drummer. There's a drum machine. Songs like How Do I Make You Love Me? A lot of keyboard. I think the single off of it, because I was listening to this, and some of my son's friends heard me and like, "Are you listening to the new Weeknd album?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am." And the song "Take My Breath" seems to be the song that everyone really likes. I liked it. It had like a Giorgio Moroder sound to it. If you could kind of if you remember the song "The Chase" from Midnight Express. I thought this was, the first thing I wrote was, this is a good pop song, and it was like the music, not so much the vocals. Sacrifice reminded me a little bit of Bobby Bear Jr. It was okay. At least it's short. Tale by Quincy was like a spoken word thing. But another song I thought was really good off this album was Out of Time. It's a very, very pretty melody. When you're listening to it, it immediately catches your ear. It kind of reminded me of listening to Michael Jackson, but think of Michael Jackson like Human Nature. That very very wispy, breathy type of easygoing vibe. And at the end of the song, as the song is fading out, a DJ comes on and he's kind of talking to you like he's talking on the radio. Then you had songs like Here We Go and Best Friends, which I thought were kind of like pedestrian at best. Nothing special there. But then another song that really I liked a lot was If There Was Someone Else. I liked it. Very catchy, very cool song. And the more you hear it, the more it kind of stayed with you. So even though I wasn't a big fan of the Bobby Bear Jr. stuff, I was a little bit more impressed with the new Weeknd album, Dawn FM.
Well, that's nice. I didn't learn how to play any of those songs.
I read these texts. That was Adam's thing. I didn't do that. Adam did that. Way to stay on brand with Country Month. But anyway,
you're the one.
You guys just do this shit.
Up.
I'm like, I don't know, man. I just thought he ruined the Super Bowl that year. I thought it was the worst halftime Super Bowl show I've ever seen in my life. I don't like this guy. Listen to Michael Jackson if you want to listen to something like that. You don't need this guy. Well, you could do better, kids. You could do better. What do you think, Adam?
So this is the first Weeknd album that I've actually sat there and listened to.
Yeah.
And what really, what caught my attention was it was a concept album. So as soon as I heard concept album, like I got to check this out. And the whole concept is that it's basically purgatory. You have this radio station, this Dawn FM radio station, and the DJ on it is actually Jim Carrey, who's doing the voiceover for it. So it's purgatory. It's a giant tunnel that everybody's stuck in before the afterlife. And I thought it's a tremendous album. I've gone through it about 4 or 5 times right now.
Oh, wow.
And
there's a lot of songs on the album.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs. It's
17 songs.
It's just it's drenched in the 80s. There's synth pop, there's new wave, there's R&B, there's dance pop. With Take My Breath, which is really kind of one of the centerpieces, I actually found it be. I think Georgie's a good comparison. I also thought it was a little bit Bee Gees-esque. Also, I thought that song could actually fit in Saturday Night Fever.
Was it because of the falsetto that he's doing?
The falsetto plus the beat. Like I could picture some of the scenes from the movie just going really well with it.
Interesting.
I think that those probably saw tracks 2 to 5, Gasoline, How Do I Make You Love Me, Take My Breath, and Sacrifice are so propulsive and so it's just such a great mix of songs. I think it's going to be possibly, it's so early into the year, but it could be some of the most dynamic 4 songs on an album. You start out with a lot of this dance pop. Eventually it goes more into soft rock, into adult contemporary with the kind of the middle with Out of Time. Here We Go Again actually has Bruce Johnston of the Beach Boys singing background vocals for it. And it kind of, that song, I think if Michael Jackson was still alive, that was the kind of song that he would be making right now. You have, the background vocals from the Beach Boys. You have Tyler, the Creator, doing rapping during it. But I think I also like the song Less Than Zero, which I thought was it's a bit of the war on drugs in it. It's a great ending song to it. And you have Phantom Regret at the end, which is a spoken word by Jim Carrey. And it's almost like a Dr. Seuss kind of Dr. Seuss rhyme about enlightenment.
All right. So next time we'll do a production meeting before the show starts. And all right. Yeah. Adam does that. He'll just like throw a text at like 3 a.m. Hey, well, let's do this album. And then Jeff will be like, okay. And then like, I'll be like, whatever, guys. I don't need to read 9 texts. It's nobody's getting paid on the show.
Yeah. I thought it came from you, Dustin. That's why I was like, okay, it's an interesting idea.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I liked it. I like the idea that Adam does that. At least he's a go-getter. You know what I mean? I like it that you're a go-getter. Yeah. I had something I wanted to share, but I can't find the album that I won. But yeah, it's cool. I'll check it out, I guess. I just, I don't know. For some reason I'm hesitant, with this weekend, but maybe it's good. Anthony, I feels the same way. So
yeah.
So you didn't listen to it, right?
I skimmed through it.
You skimmed.
Well,
right.
It wasn't supposed to be. We ended up talking about it as much as the album that we were supposed to talk about, but it was just sort of an afterthought. So I just kind of skimmed through. I was kind of bored by it, but
wow.
I don't know. I didn't think it was that interesting. It's all like the same kind of new wave song over and over again. To me, I don't know.
So if we get the Weeknd on here, he can defend his album.
I didn't love it, but I don't really listen to the Weeknd anyway. So
why would you? You're not 14. I think that's what it is. It's it's young people music. I don't know how people get huge like that. I guess I'll give it more of a chance, but it's like sometimes you see these bands and you're just like, how are you huge? I don't understand. Why? I get Adele. I get the voice. I get the story. I get, even get before that, the Katy Perry's, or I get certain people, why they, Justin Bieber, I get all that. But for certain, when a band, somebody like this comes up, I'm just like, and then they're obviously talented, Adam's,
yeah.
he knows music. He's into what he's doing, but I still don't understand it. How certain people get that big.
I think it's because this is retro pop. It's throwback. It's just that nostalgia factor. Especially with
Mars is that, and I get
New
that.
Bruno Mars is really good.
Well, I get that.
Yeah.
To me, that works for me. I get it. I think he's very talented. Do you think this guy? I don't think this guy's. I don't know.
I don't think he's as good as Bruno Mars.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Adam? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I think he also picks a lot of. He worked with one of his albums. He worked with Daft Punk. He picks a lot of the some of the more interesting producers or acts out there to work with.
All right, so he's pulling people that are kind of interesting. Okay, I get that, and that's that's probably like kind of propels him a little bit because he's kind of working with all these interesting people. But I just said, like I said, when he did the halftime show, I didn't even know who it was. It was crazy. I was just like, who's this guy? And then I couldn't tell if the plastic surgery was real or if it was part of this thing. Like I could, what's wrong with his face? Is that a real thing? And then
I like how it's a year later and Dustin is still like upset about it. Like it just happened this weekend.
No pun intended. But, but because I didn't listen to the album, so that's all I have to draw from. Because I would never listen to this music, even with a gun to my head. So it's just, I didn't know what was happening, and so this is all I have to draw from. I don't have anything else to draw from because I don't have MTV. I don't watch. I mean, maybe I have it, but I don't watch it. It's like, so I'm not going to be exposed to this music. It's just like, it's one of these things where it's just like, if it was, around me, if it was in the car, it was coming on I don't know. I mean, the radio stations that I listen to don't really play that.
If Adam didn't put it in the text, I wouldn't have sorted it out.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to listen to it, I'm going to listen to it with an open mind. And like obviously this is
never have an open mind, Jeff.
Of course I do.
With Anthony's stuff.
No, Anthony just picks horrible albums. But I mean,
you've picked some horrible albums.
Let's
Wolfgang is not that great, by the way. Wolfgang is not that great, by the way. I was just being nice. That's the hackiest thing I've heard in 10 years.
What's the hackiest thing?
The Van Halen, Wolfgang, whatever his name is, Wolf Mozart, whatever it is.
No, get out of here.
It's so hacky. It's so
not hacky. It is.
It's like he went to Rage and Soundgarden. He just
it has nothing,
stole their
like
souls.
Rage.
He like sucked the blood out of them.
No.
Yes, it does. It has all that.
No, Rage.
It has
sounds,
a little
if
bit.
Anything,
it has everybody.
It sounds like STP. It doesn't sound.
It has
like Rage.
There's like 15 different bands in there. He even said he was inspired by Rage.
He may be inspired by it, but the music isn't.
All right, I'm not saying he stole Rage right off. It's every band that was popular in the late '90s. That's who he stole from.
Well, that's the area that he grew up in.
Okay,
I didn't care for it because it didn't really sound like me.
But he did play all the stuff, which is very much like
which is what I do. Yeah.
All right, you maniacs. All right, any new music that you scrolled through, or did we not do that because Adam threw us for a fucking loop?
No, I also listened to a band that I don't know. Are you guys familiar with the Gaslight Anthem?
Yeah,
I've heard of them.
Okay, I'd heard of them, but I never listened to them. So I also listened to them, and I checked out a song called "The 45." I thought it was really cool. I thought they were really good. I thought they were like a heavy band, but they really aren't a heavy band. They're kind of melodic, and that song was pretty cool. So it's something I would want to listen to a little bit more.
What's the name of the band again?
The Gaslight Anthem, and they've been around. I just never listened to them.
I think they're just called Gaslight Anthem. I don't think it's the.
I think it is the.
Is it?
I know a band called The.
I think it's called
Remember The? Remember them?
I hate that name of a band. It is a stupid name for a band.
About the.
There's no need to.
How about the Guess Who? You like that?
Yeah, I do.
The Who is a great name. The Guess Who is.
That's so stupid.
No, it's called the Gaslight Anthem, Anthony.
Is it? Oh, I didn't know it had the. I never hear anybody say
We're all just hating each other as the hour goes on.
Yeah, Anthony, I can never have you as my neighbor.
Oh, see, now he's being mean. I was kidding. You can live on my couch. No, you're not. You're not joking. You would have tried to beat up Anthony in high school.
Anthony ever were in New York,
I was not alive when he was in high school. Let's be
stay at my house.
There you go. That's how you win. I still got youth. Adam, what's your favorite album? Got to break up this bully fest. What do you got?
All right, so for the Gaslight Anthem, you got to check out 59 Sound, which is I think it's their best album. It's
The Gaslight Anthem, yes.
The Gaslight Anthem, yeah. They're also a New Jersey band too,
Right.
so they got there's a lot of Springsteen in them.
Ugh. No thanks.
And Anthony.
I don't like Springsteen either. I got you back, Anthony.
Yeah,
Me and you, buddy.
Springsteen,
I do not see
Eagles.
the appeal.
Yeah.
The boss?
Springsteen?
Nah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Oh, you're crazy.
Yeah, he's not crazy.
Not even one
He is.
song. Well,
Not really.
okay, wait. What's
Not
the
Born
there
to
is-
Run, not Thunder Road, not
What's
The
the
River,
one,
not
pretty
Prove It
good,
All
I
Night.
guess.
None of those songs.
What's the one?
His
there's something
Christmas
about
album is
fire?
great.
His Christmas. Santa Claus.
Yeah, and it's not overplayed.
All right, Adam, do you have a band?
Well, this is
Springsteen's not new. What do you got?
I just picked this band because of the name. I was listening to
Okay.
Sirius, and this band came up called Let's Eat Grandma.
Let's Eat Grandma.
Yeah, and it's not. It's a UK female duo. It's just
Ooh.
synth pop.
Okay.
They're I guess they have an album coming out in April. The song I heard was called Happy New Year. It sounded pretty interesting. It was I went through some of their stuff. They have it's very, very synth pop. There's a little bit of Bjork in it too. But I just thought, I saw that name and I'm like, wow, that name just stuck with me. I'm like, I have to check them out.
Very cool. Yeah. It sounds like it's up Anthony's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would check it out.
They probably sound like you, dude, if you had a keyboard.
Wait a minute. I have a keyboard somewhere.
Do you?
I don't know where it is.
You got to play it more. Yeah.
There it
Well,
is.
look at that. That's. I got a guitar. If you want to start a band. Anthony, did you find any music? New
I
music
did.
this
I
week?
found this band was in a playlist on Spotify that was created through the algorithm based on stuff that they think I might like. And the band is called Peach Kelly Pop.
Peach Kelly Pop.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kelly with an I at the end. And
Close to
it
this.
looks to be like, so it's, it's like a band name, but it's just one woman. It's like she, I guess, plays all the stuff. And then I read that when she tours and does shows and stuff, she just has like a bunch of friends come up, like whoever's around. There's no set lineup. And so it's a Canadian artist that's, I think, now living in LA.
Okay.
And it's like kind of it's sort of like Ramones-y. It's like the Ramones mixed with like television,
Okay,
it's just
sure.
kind of like poppy female vocals on top. So really
Nice.
cool. The album that I was listening to is it's called 3, like the just 3 eyes.
Very cool. Kelly with an I. I remember there was a girl in my high school. She was a Kelly with an I, and she had like a mohawk, and she was like gorgeous with a mohawk, which is rare to find. And she's just hot, And I remember I was too scared to talk to her. And my friend was an artist, and he drew her on my shirt. I had like a shirt. It said Kelly with an eye on it, and I just like a dork just walked around with this like a psycho, just trying to find that she would glance, and she gave. She's like, "Is that me on your shirt?" And then I was like too nervous to talk to her. I was like, "Oh, it's a nightmare."
Was she older than you?
No, same grade. She was kind of a delinquent or whatever, but I ended up hanging out with her. It was a good time. What is that? My band was, oh God, I lost it. Where'd it go here? Oh, let's go. Maren Morris is a country singer, because I'm just trying to stay on brand with the show. I'm not throwing wrenches in like Adam. But Maren Morris, she's from Arlington, Texas, which is really close to where I grew up. And she's a big country singer, apparently. She's doing a lot of good stuff. And I liked it. It kind of sounded like it's kind of like when Dolly Parton used to care about her fans and not do 2 songs and walk off stage. But yeah, it's a good sound. It's kind of a regular country sound. Probably not something you're that into, Anthony, but probably more Jeff's speed. But a little poppier country. But it was good. It was like she's talented, and she plays and writes her stuff. And so, I listened to a couple different albums, and I don't know. It was good. It was just kind of your basic good country chick sound, and I dug it. So yeah, that's what I got. Good job, guys. We all did it.
Yeah,
Even the loop was fun. We got to shit on the Weeknd. It was great.
Yeah.
Because I'm still mad about that Super Bowl.
It was pretty bad. I mean, it was a good meme. Everybody was.
I hate the Super Bowl halftime shows.
Yeah. Who's playing this year?
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre.
Oh, yeah.
Eminem. I think Snoop.
Is it Eminem?
Oh, that'd be a cool.
Yeah,
that'd be a cool one.
There'll be a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what was it? Was it last year where it was Jennifer Lopez and Shakira? Was that last year?
That was pretty good. They look great.
What's that?
I know, but how many times are you going to see Jennifer Lopez? It's on everything.
It was before the Weeknd, because the Weeknd didn't have he did it by himself. Like he didn't have.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Video or something.
That was. I mean, they did a good job. I don't really listen to either of them, but they're both talented.
I'll watch them dance, right, Anthony?
They are good dancers. Even if you were just watching them because you're a fan of dance.
Yeah.
They're talented.
That genre of porn.
Yeah.
So like an older woman. All right, weird way to end, but that's what we're gonna do, guys. Thank you for listening to Dustin and watching Dustin's Vinyl. Check us out on the podcast, Apple Music, and that other thing that we don't discuss what that streaming service is on this show. But Anthony has a song about it. Anyway, thanks, guys. Anthony, why don't you do one song from the Junior?
Oh, from the Bobby Bear Jr.
Bobby Bear. That's it.
Album.
That's his name.
Okay, I'll do a little piece of one of the songs.
All right, cool.
I look cute at the end of your leash. You're adorable beast. As I salivate on your shoes. Obedient and true, loyal through and through. A fuzzy reflection of you. If you are wounded, I will lick it. If you feed me, I won't forget it. If I mess up, just rub my nose in it. You let me out to sniff around, do my business and stretch out, and I always come running when you call. I look cute at the end of your leash. You're adorable beast. I look cute at the end of your leash. You're adorable beast. And I come running to you. I come running to you. I come running to.
Oh, it was great. You did great. And you know what? If you really love somebody, treat them like a dog. I think that is really the message. Thank you, everybody. Dustin's Vinyl. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.